Hi, Evan Pantazi here. Just thinking about and working with the Sanchin recently, and of course, I've been doing this for a long time, but it changes. I mean, your body changes, your mental attitudes change, and whatnot. For the longest time, I've been working with it with the three animal flavors and attributes, the crane, the tiger, and the dragon. And I've mentioned this in other films. I start out with the 8 basic exercises, and I do repetitions of 10 each, working with body dynamics, body positioning, breathing, etc. And it leads into different thoughts. When you break them down into separate structures, separate exercises, and practice them repetitively, it can get more involved and deeper into the thought process, so you can understand the moving kata even better. And once you get into the moving kata, changing it around a little bit, not so much in the way you perform the kata as such, the postures and the positions and the transitions, but your body change. Now, in the Bubishi and other old texts, they talk about body change all the time. Now, the crane is different from the tiger, which is different from the dragon, which is different from the crane. They're all different, and they all do different things to the body. And I've alluded to this in past videos as well. So Sanchin is, again, all embodying. Now, I've also developed 20 levels of training, or martial training. So if you had, say, a 10Q system or a 9Q system or whatever Q system you had, levels, then you could break it down into these aspects to attain a black belt. And then after that, there are higher levels, the practitioner levels, where you get into more situational circumstance and application, as opposed to more training application. Now, we all do this in moving, but to develop one kata into 9 levels for basic Q, or 10 levels, and then an additional 10 practitioner levels, that's the interesting thing. And there is no end. It's infinite on what you can do with your Sanchin if you apply your mind to it. Now, this isn't something that I came up with on a weekend. It's been over a decade, 2 decades, 3 decades. I don't even remember. I actually do remember I started doing this version, the Weichi version of Sanchin, back in 1996. So we could do some filming on the Kyushu applications in 1997. A friend, Steve DiOrio, and I did that 3 video series. Actually, it was 4, because Sansei-Ru was so big that we broke it into 2 videos, so 4 videos. They're on my website still. They're outdated, by the way, because the methodologies have changed and whatnot. As a matter of fact, maybe 5 years ago, came out with Sanchin entering, and I broke Sanchin down into the 9 basic levels that I'm talking about, and gave a little glimpse of each. Of course, you can't be all-encompassing on what you've discovered, because just one level would take a full video. So I broke it down into 9 levels, an introduction to each one of those 9 levels, and that was even 2 videos. So I haven't stopped working on it. Okay, Sanchin is a form that I see that I will be practicing the rest of my life, along with Bilji and Nahachi. Those are my main 3, but I do practice other ones. The Weichi system, I practice Seisan. I also practice Sansei-Ru and Super Renpai. And then I practice other Shorin-based kata, Goju-based kata, like Seiyuchin and Tensho. So it's just a rounding, but all of them add back into the Sanchin, and the Sanchin, of course, adds to all of them. Now, one of the most profound katas that taught me an interesting outlook on Sanchin, and there were 2 katas mainly. One was Bilji from Wing Chun Kung Fu, and the other one was the Seiyuchin of Goju-Ru, which I've only been doing for 5 to 10 years. And I picked it up because I saw something. I saw one of my friends up in Canada, okay, and Stephen Lynch. He's a high level in Goju Ryu, and I watched him perform a Seiyuchin, and instantly the first pose he took, it just caught me by surprise. But I came in with the blood map of the body, and that the kata actually worked or depicted the blood map and how to destroy the certain blood targets, otherwise known as shichin from the bubishi. So a very profound kata. So of course I started investigating that fervently. Came out with a videotape on it, and came out with a tegumi and a tuite drill, and also some extra separate exercises for targeting and tools. And since then I've come up with other tegumis that bring you through the whole battery of techniques that are applied in the form. But again, that all fed back into my Sanchin. As a matter of fact, I've found a way to attack all the shichin of the bubishi, not only in the Seiyuchin, but also in the Sanchin. And that has given me greater insights and other aspects to the training, and also the teaching factor. So I'm thinking nowadays people don't have an awful lot of time, and they want simplification. Now, if you can get a whole martial regiment, whole martial training from standing to distance to close range to grappled to ground fighting, even with the weapon disarms or weapon defenses, out of a simple and concise kata such as Sanchin, where even a beginner can adopt the body patterns. There's no kicking in the Sanchin per se. There's no deep motions out of the Sanchin, again, per se. And you could teach even an elderly person to appreciate this kata, so they have something to do on a daily basis to not only fortify their muscles, but their bones as well. And that's what elderly people really need, is bone fortification as they weaken with ages, as the calcium leaches out. So by tensing the muscles and the tendons and the ligaments in the body and putting the body into certain postures, you're going to also fortify those bones. So again, this is one you keep for your old age as well. So anyway, those are just some thoughts, random thoughts here while I'm sitting here taking some time off on kata Sanchin. Very deep kata, but I do apply it. I do perform it 3 times a day after I do the 8 series exercises. Sorry for the beeping in the back. We've got looks like a truck coming through. Anyway, if I practice the 8 dynamic exercises for body fortification, then I do a crane application, a crane interpretation, a tiger interpretation, and of course the dragon interpretation, and all the same kata, all the same benefits that would behoove a regular Sanchin practice of the Weiqi style or Goju style, whatever style. But it also adds the body changing elements, so I can understand not only my own functionality, but those of the opponent as well. So keep looking into your Sanchin. Is an infinite amount of information, and I know Chojo Miyagi stated that it was all you needed. Okay, and it's absolutely true. And I could see myself getting down from the 20-30 katas that I play with now, down to the 1 for my serious study, as I have been for past some odd years. So anyway, little insight. I know a lot of people like to see people getting knocked out and other things here for more entertainment value, but once in a while I just like to ramble on about what I'm thinking about, what I'm doing. So you take care. Hope to see you soon.